Hey Fork Shoals, this is Pastor Jay here. Been a while since I've been able to talk with you, and so I just want to give you an update on a couple of things and what our plans for ministry are whenever we return together. A lot of churches are doing that, and I've been thinking about this for some time, and so I want to share those plans with you as well. But the first thing I want to do is just want to thank you. Really appreciate the giving that you've been doing to provide ministry for our church, for us to be able to continue to minister in these times. It's been difficult times, but we have been very faithful, and you have been very faithful in your giving. Definitely our expenses have been lower for not being in the building with bills and utilities and things like that. But besides that, we are solid financially. And so we feel really good about where we are to be able to continue our ministry to this community and beyond. And so I just want to say thank you, as I already have before, about your sacrificial giving. It's so important, and it's so wonderful to be a part of a church who understands what giving is and the process of tithing and how important that is for overall ministry. We are in the middle of North American Mission Board's, our Annie Armstrong Easter offering that's wrapping up this month, and we're about $100 short of that goal. And so I just want to ask you that if you haven't given to that you might consider that, you might pray about what God may lead you to give, and that you'd be able to help us in that goal. Keep in mind that North American Missions is 100% given to mission efforts and missionaries within North America, and so that money is well spent to spread the gospel here within the United States. So consider doing that. The second thing I want to touch base with you, you may have seen some emails and some announcements concerning a blood drive. I was connected a couple of weeks ago to the Blood Connection. They contacted me about the possibility of doing a follow-up from last year. As you would know, that their supplies are very low, not just due to the pandemic, but other surgeries and things. And so they are asking for us to help in this. And I want to extend that to you as a congregation. Would you be willing to participate in this blood drive? We will have it here at the church. It will be May the 16th. It's on a Saturday from 10 to 2. They've assured me that safety and health of each and every person is paramount, and they are readily equipped to make sure that takes place. And so if you would like to sign up, please call the church office, and we'll be maintaining a log for times available. They'd like to get 18 units, and so we'll get as many as we can, but I would encourage you to give back. This is an opportunity to give back, and that's what we're instructed as Christians and as a church to do. And so would you prayerfully consider doing that on May the 16th, and we would appreciate that. But here's the biggie, and I know that everyone is excited about this and really thinking about what it's going to look like. And so I just want to give you just a couple of things to think of here. You know, over the past 6 weeks, God has taught me a lot of things. He has taught me a different dependency on Him, and been able to strengthen that relationship with myself and Him, but also a different perspective for ministry and what that might look like. And so God's taught me a lot of things through this, through these changing times. I know that everyone is tired of this new normal. Everyone's ready for things just to get back the way it is. But we believe that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We're seeing an end to this, and so we're preparing for that. But we're fooling ourselves if we think that everything's just going to go right back to normal, and there's not going to be any hiccups along the way. Not going to happen. I believe that we will experience this social distancing thing probably throughout the summer, and the economic impact will probably come in a little later. But in the meantime, we have devised a plan. We put a plan together. I've met with our leadership, and we had a really good opportunity to sit down and put out a scope of ministry that we believe fits what we have here at Fork Shoals and what's best for us. And so I want to share that with you right now. Again, this is contingent on the governor giving us a soft return here within a couple of weeks. Okay, so listen closely to this as I give you these instructions. The first thing is our target date for return is Sunday, May the 17th. I know that that's only 3 weeks away, but that is what we are projecting. That is what we are looking for. That's what we're praying for. And God has all timetables in His hands anyway. But that's what we're looking for, is Sunday, May the 17th as a return. That date is subject to change, so please keep that in mind. We've got to be flexible in case something happens there. But it's for worship only. Only worship. We will continue to suspend Sunday school through small groups, our midweek activities, and other ministries until further notice. This is just going to be a worship gathering. And so in order to observe the 6-foot distancing that will still need to be taking place, we're going to offer 2 services for you to attend. One service will be at 9 o'clock, one service will be at 10:30. Both of those services will be the same in style. There will be no different with the music or the message. It will be the same. But there's really not a good way as far as splitting the service up. We can get about 65 to 70 in here if we split the way that we have been instructed to based on the 6-foot distancing. And so that's why I'm here in the sanctuary, just so that you have just a visual of what this is. We can get about 2 people on these shorter pews to my right and to the left side. And then also in the middle, we can get about 3 if we have opportunity to do that with individuals. And so the plan is to skip every other pew with people in between there. If you are in a family under the same roof, then you can sit on that pew with your family. That we're not going to separate you from your family. This will be for individuals. And so just keep that in mind. But here's my suggestion. There's not really an easy way to split these groups up in doing that. If you come to Sunday school on a regular basis, if you are a regular Sunday school attender, then I want to ask you or encourage you to make a sacrifice and come an hour earlier for the 9 o'clock service. I know that there still will be some who would like to come earlier, and that's okay. But we're just trying to make an even divide that would be the easiest to be able to make sure that we have the right number of people in here at a time. So if you come to the 9 o'clock service, if you regularly attend Sunday school, that would give us a pretty close divide for the second service at 10:30 for those who come for worship as well. And so I'd appreciate if you would consider that. Again, if you've got living under the same roof, it's okay for you to sit on a pew with your family. We're not going to separate you, but there will be a pew between you and the ones behind you. Also, what we're going to do, we're going to label the pews A, B, all the way down through the sanctuary. The A pews will sit at 9 o'clock in the morning. That will be for the early service, and those labeled as B will be available for those in the 10:30 service. That way it ensures us of only having to disinfect and clean the pews one time following the services and not having to do it between services. So if you would help us with that we would appreciate that as well. We will continue to sanitize the building. The doors will be open so that you can just walk freely into the building without having to open up doors or anything. And so that will continue to be done. And then between services, we will wipe down those surfaces that could come in contact with folks as they come in and out. The second thing I want to remind you of is that because we're doing 2 services, we will not have a nursery. We will not have any children's church. You know as well as I do, it's impossible to keep children apart. And so we're asking you to keep that in mind with parents with young children. Please consider that as you come. You are free to come and bring your children, let them sit with you. We're going to try to provide a coloring sheet or some form of a bulletin or something so that they can color or follow along the best that they can. But you use that for your discretion as a parent. But we will not have a nursery or children's church available during this time. Also, there will be a drop box that will be located in the vestibule as you come in. It will be there for your tithes. and your offerings that you bring in. That way you don't have to be a person to handle the plate. No one has to pass the offering plates, and you have to worry about touching that. So you can drop those tithes and offerings off as you come in the door or as you exit the doors from worship. That box will also be used for prayer cards, and so if you have a prayer need, please drop that in there as well. And then that will give us a collection point for that. We will not have greeters. We will have folks who will want to say hello to you, but we will not have greeters that will be standing there at the door when you come in. There may be ushers, there may be folks standing outside to kind of help direct and guide you to the pews to give you some assistance, but there will be nobody up close to shake your hand or hug. I know that that's tough for us. We want to hug, we want to shake hands, and that's going to be the most difficult thing. But I ask that you be caring for other people, respect their space, and also just think about that. Have the conversations with one another, but respect the 6-foot distancing whenever you talk with one another. We will not have bulletins, and so you might want to bring a pen and a piece of paper with you if you want to jot down notes or anything, because we don't want anybody handing out things to you that you would have to handle as well. And so just keep that in mind. Here's something you need to remember from this. This is only suggestive. Okay, so if you feel sick, if you have been sick for any reason, please stay at home. Just give yourself some more time to heal and to recover. We completely understand. We will be together soon, everyone together. But if you have been sick at all, you're not expected to subject yourself. Also, if you are at risk for COVID, if you are someone who's had recent surgery or something who feels like their health may be at risk, it is understood for you as well. And we would ask that you would stay home as well if you just don't feel comfortable coming into an environment like this. So protect yourself and protect others. It's not worth just the fact of saying that you've been here if you don't feel comfortable in doing that. So think about that as well. Again, it's not mandatory. This is just suggestive, and so we're just asking you to think about these things. As of right now, our summer student camp is canceled just due to circumstances that we can't control. And also our Vacation Bible School is being postponed. We will look at Vacation Bible School later. It could be that we could put it towards the end of the summer. We'll just reevaluate that at a later date and let you know what that looks like. But for now, those two activities in June are going to be affected, and so we've decided to go ahead and move those out of the way. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns about any of these things or something that I may have left out, I'm sure that I did, please call me. I would love to discuss these things further with you, just to give you a different perspective, maybe if I wasn't clear about something. But this is a plan that we have put in place. We believe it best suits our needs right now. Church, I know we're going to get through this. This is something that we're going to overcome. And trust me, God is going to get the glory that He is due from all of this. It's been tough. And as I've already said, this has been an opportunity for growth. And so let's never take for granted our freedoms that we have. We pray about it all the time. But let's never take for granted the freedoms that we have to come together in corporate worship and worship the Lord together. My prayer is that our ministry and our worship be forever changed. We don't go back to the same ways as we used to. That this causes us to think differently of reaching people, and also to give us a fresh fire, to be kindled in our hearts and in our souls for our community and for beyond. I love you, Fork Shoals, and I look forward to the opportunity that we have to come back together. God bless you.